Hey fellow nerds and geeks, Aaron Nabus here, and on behalf of my co-host Alex Benedicto, thank you so much for tuning in. On this episode, we welcome someone that we are huge fans of, pointillism artist Daniel Jaimes. He's been busy in the studio and wanted to hang out at the beach to unwind for a bit before he actually went back to the studio. So we decided to meet up at a place called Draft in South Mission Beach in San Diego, California. We enjoyed talking about his family, especially his parents, his art, which became his salvation, Star Wars, and more. If you're going to San Diego Comic-Con 2018, please go check him out in Artist Alley EE13. Hey fellow nerds and geeks, Aaron Nabus here, and on behalf of my co-host Alex Benedicto, welcome to the Hall H Show podcast. On this episode, we are joined by someone that we've been following for quite some time. I guess maybe 4 years. We first met him at San Diego Comic-Con 2014, and we're huge fans of his work. San Diego-based, California pointillism, but he would probably say pixelism. Artist Daniel Jaimes. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Hey everyone, good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Finally.
Finally.
Got you on there.
Yes.
But it took some beers and bikinis to get you on the podcast, right?
It took beers, bikinis, and the month of July to get me here. Yes. Because I actually have some free time this month. Yes.
Well, we're recording this podcast at the beach, South Mission Beach in San Diego, at this place called Draft. So we're enjoying some beer. What is this, Alex? Blueberry beer? Is this what it is?
Yeah, some kind of blueberry flavored ale.
And I'm having a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, we got some micheladas going on. So yeah, so happy Saturday, guys.
Happy Saturday, yes.
So do another cheers.
The cheers. Happy Saturday, yes.
And we got Jesus here.
Jesus, Jesus. My twin brother Jesus is here.
But he's just chilling.
We'll get him on the next show.
Yeah, whenever I need forgiveness, I give him a call.
Oh yeah.
So, through the past events that we've met you at, like at Bar Basic and at different cons, we've gotten to know you a little bit here and there. But you're always busy entertaining your fans. So I'm so glad that we finally got a chance to talk to you.
Well, doing what I do, Aaron, it keeps me busy all the time. When I'm not doing the live art, when I'm not doing conventions, or I'm not doing just being out and about, I'm usually home working. It's not your typical lifestyle when it comes to doing what I do. Some people don't understand that. Others do, because they, being as an artist, other artists understand what I go through. But the general public has no clue how I do what I do. But when I do have the time, then yes, I do make time to get out and enjoy some fresh air, or take a road trip after I feel overwhelmed. But it takes up a lot of my time. But I do make the time to get out when I can. As in today, we made this happen because, like I said, the month of July, I take a month off from work. So I do have a real job during the week. During my, as a living. But I usually take the whole month off for July to prepare to do and then to decompress after Comic-Con. So this is what I love to do. So this was the best time to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's when I do have the time to just to do what I want to do and talk to people, then yes, this is what I do. I guess if that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like most of our heroes in comic books, they all have origin stories, right? We'd like to hear your origin story.
My origin story? Oh my God! Do we have time for that?
I know you're the second of 10 kids, right?
I am the second youngest of 10 kids. Yes, my dad was he's a caballero from Mexico, and my mom was a nun down from Mexico. Believe it or not, yes.
That could be a whole story for another podcast.
Oh my God, I'll go on and on and on. Yeah,
that's a whole TV series.
Yeah. So yes, it is. So yes, I'm the second youngest of 10, and even my personal life with my family keeps me busy. But I never a dull moment growing up as a kid. Being a San Diego native, this is my home. But I didn't take my art seriously until maybe until 2006. That's when I took my art really seriously. And it's so unfortunate because it was not planned, you know, because I've always been artistic as a kid growing up, but I never took it seriously, you know, until the passing of my dad. And that's what got me started, you know, just because I wanted to give my mom something really special. And I didn't know what to give her, you know, so I literally just picked up where I left off as a kid, and I did a portrait of my dad, you know, and that's how I got started, you know.
So like I think, well, I was on your website a few days ago, and the way you sort of recount that story is that you sort of locked the door, and 36 hours later you came up with something, right?
Yeah, I literally just 2 days before we had to bury him, I literally just locked myself up in our garage and grabbed a piece of paper, whatever paper I had, and a number 2 pencil, because, you know, I didn't have like mechanical pencils, graphite, I didn't have none of that stuff. So I just started sketching my dad, and what became a portrait of my dad ended up being like a life collage of all these fond memories I had of him. And that's how I got started, you know? And I knew I could do it, but I never knew it was going to take something like this to get me going again, you know? So that's how I got started, man, 2006.
Before doing that portrait, what was the last...
before that, before that, it was only just solely for my kids. You know, doing their invitations, doing their rooms, you know, birthday parties. I would just do a cartoon of them, you know, but nothing for anybody else. It was just solely for my kids. You know, maybe like Little League games or something like that. I would do their banner, and all the parents were like, "Oh my God, who did that?" And I would never say anything. I would just kind of like, because I'm really private when it comes to my art. And I don't tell anybody anything about it, you know. So yeah, it was always there, but I never took it seriously, man. You know, it was just a hobby, just for fun.
Yeah.
You know, but I never thought I'd be doing this where I'm at now in my life, doing Comic-Con, doing podcasts with, you know, 2 cool dudes and Jesus over there. You know? And this is fun, man. It's my life totally turned and changed since I've been doing this, you know. It's never too late to do what you love, man. I should have been doing this 30 years ago. Yeah. You know, but hey, I'm doing it now. And that's important. Yeah. You
know? Since you sort of touched on your father, you want to tell us a little bit about him?
Oh, my father? You know, my father, yeah. He was very, very hard-nosed, very, you know, machismo kind of a man. You know,
especially since he was a vaquero, right?
Yeah, he's caballero, the old school caballero. So he was always... he never supported my art, you know, as a kid. He would always tell me, "You're wasting your time, mijo. What's wrong with you? Get a job, support your family." You know, that was his mentality, you know. And so I never got support from my dad for doing the art. And as much as I wanted to do it, my whole life was just trying to please him. So I didn't do the art. I didn't take it seriously. And I gave it all up because I got married really young, and I got my kids really young. So I just gave it all. I didn't do nothing like that, you know. I gave it all up. And for I gave it up for about another 22 years until like I said, 2006. But yeah, my dad was there supportive. I wish he was, you know, but I understand why he wasn't. Yeah. Same with my mom, you know, because she was not gonna, you know, cross him or support me because, you know, she had his back. So I had no support.
It's ironic that you know, after his death, unfortunately, that's what sort of was the sort of inspiration for you to sort of look at your art again and sort of find it again.
Yeah, I had to really dig in deep to really kind of like capture my dad's essence. And like I said, for 2 days, I had 2 days to do this portrait of my dad. And it was the hardest 2 days I ever had to, you know, I don't wish that on anybody, you know. But when it comes to doing stuff like that, it was hard, but I really had to dig in deep and just kind of let it all out, you know, and just kind of pick up where I left off, really. But it was the best thing that could have happened to me. Yeah. You know, I wish he was alive now so he can see what I'm doing. My mom's she really loves that. She loves that I'm doing what I love to do. You know, she supports me. My mom supports me, even though she'll deny that she didn't. You know, mothers are like that. You know, she didn't deny it. She was like, "Oh, mijo, no, I've always supported you, mijo. No. Oh, mom, come on. I know you remember you didn't support me. No, mijo, I always did. But that's just the way it is, you know. But I never look back in the past. I just look forward. the only time you should look back to see how far you've come. You know, but I enjoy doing this, and I always show her some of my newest work that I come up with, and she doesn't understand the pop culture movie icons that I do.
Right.
She wants me to paint like Virgin Marys and Jesuses and stuff like that, But that's not gonna happen unless it's Jesus in a rebel outfit, maybe something like that, His X-wing can be his heaven. I don't know,
Just put the Ewan McGregor, Ben Kenobi, sort of like Jesus with long hair.
What's that?
The Ewan McGregor, Ben Kenobi with Jesus with long hair.
Yeah, well, everybody thought Ben Kenobi was Jesus. Because they made him look that way. He looks like one of the like a saint.
Yeah, with his clothes.
They look like disciples,
his robe.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Trek, I mean that had a big influence on your childhood, right?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Star Wars, not Star Trek.
Yeah.
Did I say Star Trek?
You can't mix up those two, man. We can end the conversation right now, man. This is bullshit. No, Star Trek, Star Wars. People get that. I love them both. I'm
me too.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
I love the new version they did of Star Trek with what's his name, Chris Pine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome how they did that. As for Star Wars, yes. As a kid growing up. So see something like that, and, I was only 10 years old way back then, when the original series first came out in selected theaters. But I think it was maybe 10 theaters that were showing it. So there's always a line of, there's a line at every given hour when that movie came out. But to see it as a kid, it was like the most amazing thing I ever seen ever. Because you weren't ready for that, because it was unheard of. But to see that, it just totally inspired me. And that's how I got into drawing as a kid. So I started drawing when I was 10. Because as soon as I got home, I was like, oh my God, I got to draw that. I just started doodling X-Wing fighters, TIE fighters, Death Stars, the Death Star, Darth Vader, all those characters and battle scenes. That's all I did, man. I just did that because we didn't have, the technology we have now where we can download all that. Everything was done with baseball cards in memory, So I made my own baseball cards. And I just started sketching, and that's how I got started, And because of Star Wars, it's made a big impact in my life. I love Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan for life. You should see my place now. I have Star Wars shit all over the place.
My favorite character is Han Solo. What's yours?
Han Solo. Oh man. I guess if I had to pick a favorite character, it would have to be Darth Vader, because of what he went through, But if I can, it's kind of hard to pick a favorite because they're all my favorite, really, From Chewbacca to Han Solo to Luke to Leia, they're all great characters. C-3PO, not too much a fan of him because he's always belly aching about everything, all the whining about shit, I think R2-D2 have more balls than him, man. Oh my God, yeah. But it's
they're like the odd couple in a way.
The what?
They're like the odd couple in a way.
Yeah, they're like the odd couple, man. They're great characters, but I think C-3PO they could have made him more ballsy, I don't know.
How about your like a Star Wars collectible or memorabilia? What's your prize item?
As a prize?
Yeah.
I would love to have the full scale, Death Star. If I can get my hands on that original Death Star, I would hang it proudly in my freaking living room, man. So when people come over, like, oh my God, it's a big Death Star, It's
funny bringing up the Death Star. Our friend Beth Comando, she's got one of those Death Star barbecue things.
Yeah.
Have you seen pictures of her Death Star barbecue little thing?
I've seen those. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can go totally nuts if I wanted to buy all that stuff, but you gotta keep it real and stuff. I mean, I can only fit so much stuff in my place. I don't know about a Death Star barbecue because I probably wouldn't want to barbecue nothing on it, just for looks.
Right.
Do you have any original toys from childhood?
I still have all my comic books.
Okay,
at home.
comic books.
I don't take them out. I leave them put away.
Yeah.
And I have all my toys that I collected as a kid.
Oh wow.
Put away. Yeah. I don't put nothing of that out. I just have what I would buy now, which everybody has, which are fine. But as collectibles, I keep them safely stored away. Yeah, I don't break them out at all.
So after you watched that movie, do you remember what you actually drew?
What's that?
After you watched the movie, and you know how you said you were excited to draw something, do you remember what you actually drew when you were a kid?
What I did afterwards?
Yeah.
I ran home and started drawing the spaceships, man, the X-Wing fighters, man.
Oh, yeah.
But just leaving the movie theater, my jaw was just dropped. You know? And my siblings, they're like, you know, that's them. They're like, no big deal. But for me, it was like, whoa, my God. So my dad, I made my dad take me to the drive-in for about at least 10 times to see it over and over and over. You know? And my dad, he loved me, you know, being the youngest boy, he just wanted to make me happy, you know, even though he didn't support my art, you know, but that's how it started. But he goes, oh, you know, I'll take him there, you know, I'll take him to movies. That way he'll keep him occupied, keep him busy. Because, you know, having 10 kids, if you can shut 5 of them up for 2 hours, he's going to do it, man. So, yeah, so he would just buy a 12-pack. We'd go to a drive-in theater, and he would just drink, and I would just be mesmerized about the movie. So I saw it like 8, 9 times, maybe 10. And the first couple times, my brothers, my sister would go. By the time we got to like the 5th time, it was just me.
Both Alex and I just recently watched The Solo.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
I like the way they told the story. I kind of thought of it differently though. I thought they were going to explain it differently or display it just differently, the way I thought in my head, the way they were going to do it, on how he met Chewie. But the way their version of it, it was still satisfied. I was still satisfied with the story. But I was really impressed with the storyline. Yeah.
What I hoped for that scene when Chewie was going to go help out his fellow Wookiees.
Yeah.
And then Han Solo was going to go do his thing.
Yeah.
What I would have written it differently, that Han would have said, "Fuck it, I'm going to go with Chewie and help out him on this side."
Right.
You know, because I think that would have solidified the relationship even more.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to do that, like save all the Wookiees.
Yeah.
But they ended up just going on their own.
Yeah.
You know? So I didn't expect that part. But I like where they were going with it. You know. Unlike the other disappointments with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I can understand what direction they're going with that one, but I still wasn't I wasn't still like, woohoo! You know? I wasn't like, go see it 3-4 times, you know? Like Rogue One.
Right.
I saw that like 3-4 times.
Yeah, I like that one.
I love that one.
Yeah, but it definitely works as a standalone Star Wars movie.
Yeah. But I believe they should just put more effort into their stories, you know? Instead of just like dishing them out as fast as they could.
The Marvel formula doesn't work for Star Wars movies.
Yeah. It's a hit and miss, you know. And I don't want them to ruin the franchise by making these quick movies just to make a buck. Because people already are up in arms. These diehard fans, they already want Kathleen Kennedy's head on a platter already. You know, they want her out. But they have to understand it's just a movie. It's a story. Even though George Lucas is not telling it no more, it's somebody else is telling the story. And you have to understand that's what's going to happen. Oh, there's soccer. World Cup.
Who's playing?
Well, I know it's not Mexico. Or Spain. Or Argentina. Or Brazil. They're all out. Son of a bitch. So who do I cheer on now? No more Latin countries?
No more Latin countries.
They're all out.
Is South Korea still in it? I don't even know.
So how would you like to see what were you expecting from Han Solo? How would you like to see it done?
How would I like to? No, the way they did was great. I wouldn't change too much of it because.
What were you expecting? Yeah.
I was expecting on how he met Chewie, because from the original story is freedom from slavery. He wasn't in a pit, you know, waiting for Han Solo to be thrown in there. You know, it wasn't. The story wasn't told that way. It was told differently. Because he freed him from slavery from the Empire, and Han Solo was a pilot for the Empire. So I thought he was gonna be wearing a whole, you know, the uniform and all that, and just like not take him to some camp. And that's how I was thinking it. But to throw him in a pit and like, okay, who's this creature that's gonna get him? And then when it's Chewie, I was like, oh my god, it's Chewie! And I was like, yes, that's cool how they did that. And I can see why they did that. You know, it had more expectations to the story. So it caught my attention. Those girls they're all like red from sitting down.
It definitely sort of.
You notice that? The girls with red legs from sitting down.
It definitely foreshadowed their relationship because it showed how they can work as a team.
Yeah.
You know?
It's how they helped each other out.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's true friendship when you help your buddy, you guys have a bond when you guys help each other out, you know? And that's hard to find, you know, when you can find a true friend that's going to be there for you.
Right.
You know?
Do you have a Chewy in your life?
I got Jesus in my life. He's right there. Jesus. Yeah, I got a lot. I got a lot of friends. I don't have like. I like to see my friends as, you know, they're like my silver dollar friends because you're more close. You know, they're just closer. You have your close friends you would tell everything to. You know, your childhood friends. But unfortunately, a lot of my childhood friends are not around anymore. So, because growing up was, you know, grew up in the hood, it was a different type of lifestyle, you know. We had the homie lifestyle and stuff, you know. Yeah. So a lot of those guys that made it out of the hood, power to them. I'm glad they made a change in their lives. Some turned to religion because they saw the light. Others never changed at all, and they're either 6 foot under or they're just not all there anymore. Yep. They're gone mentally, and it's so sad, you know. But I feel very blessed and lucky that I got out of it, and I had to thank my ex-wife for it because she's the one that got me out of it. But when I do see them occasionally, it's nice to see them that they made it out and they made it in life, you know. But having those kind of friends that you grew up with, they're hard to come by, man. You know, just like you guys hang out. You know, like Jesus and we hang out. You know. But I do have my other friends that I do see occasionally when I'm either doing a show or I'm just in the area. You know, then I'll give somebody a call. Hey, what are you guys doing? We'll get together, have drinks or have coffee. You know, like I said, I'm very private with my life. So I really don't talk much about it. I don't post my private life online. Like, you know, I know a lot of people love to post their private lives on Instagram and Facebook. But if you look me up on Facebook, you'll see that I'm rarely there because I'm not going to post like, hey, I just cleaned up my refrigerator. Want to see? You know, like people. I don't know why people post it. People put all their personal lives online. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm just old school. I don't know. But I see people posting shit every 5 minutes on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my socks on now. Look at my new shoes. Yeah. You know, I made eggs. Want to see? You know, like, come on, man. And Instagram, I love Instagram because it's more a marketing tool, and I can reach out to a bigger and broader audience, and it's just nice to have that because I do more my business and reach out to my fans on Instagram than I would on Facebook. You know, and that's how we get to communicate. And you know, I throw a shout out with you guys on Instagram. You guys throw right back. You know, even being here at Draft, we're shooting them a shout out, and that's what makes Instagram so amazing as a tool. But getting back to the friends, man, we should all have that one friend or several friends that we can go to in a time of need, or when you just feel like you need someone in your life.
And I think that's sort of what was missing for me from the newer Star Wars movies is that like the camaraderie that Luke, Leia, and Han and Chewie they all shared together.
They did.
I didn't really feel that in the new movies. You know, it was unfortunate that they didn't have a scene together before Carrie Fisher passed away.
Absolutely.
You know,
not like the original series. You know, there was a very strong bond. But when you see like Poe Dameron and Finn, you know, there's a friendship there. But it's just not like. They don't spend like a lot of time together, and they're friends, and that's how you see it. They're just friends. But with the original series, you see more of the bonding that they went through, the sacrifices, you know. But I guess maybe we're just stuck on the original, you know, the original characters, and nobody's giving the new characters a chance. Maybe because we're old, you know, we're older gentlemen. Where these new what do they call millennials? I can't pronounce that word, millennials, because I have braces on. Millennials, I guess it's just a different type of people now, or a different kind of, you know, generation that are now taking over the series or this franchise. But I'm more the old school type, you know, and I love the story of Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and The Last Jedi. I mean, excuse me, the Return of the Jedi. Excuse me.
Right.
So those were my three favorites.
I guess that's one thing we should sort of underscore is that, you can have your own opinion about Star Wars or any type of fandom that you're into, but you should remember that there are actual humans that put these, movies and these projects together. I was just, earlier this week we saw the actor that played Jar Jar Binks. He sort of like said that he was suicidal after the backlash that he had,
Jar Jar Binks, yeah. Yeah, I don't think anybody even cared for Jar Jar Binks. I don't know what George Lucas was thinking.
No, but like I said, you can have your own opinion about the characters, but you shouldn't attack like the people that play them personally.
Yeah. People took it way too seriously on some of these characters. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Jar Jar Binks, but I'm not like gonna go online and protest him.
Right.
Make a start threatening his Jar Jar family and all the Gungans. I'm not gonna go down there and but people do that, man. People are really diehards when it comes to these characters. So you can't please everybody with these characters, but you can make an attempt to kind of justify these characters. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I mean, if I was in Kathleen Kennedy's role, I would have sort of, had J.J. Abrams just continue, this new trilogy, and then since the next three that Rian Johnson are going to do is going to take place in like another part of the galaxy or universe. That's like a new break for Star Wars. He should have done whatever he wanted to do in that new set of movies.
Yeah.
But they should have kept some sort of continuity with Han Solo, Leia, and Luke. So, what do you think about that?
Oh my God, we can go on and on about that, but it's just amazing how long this franchise has lasted.
Sure.
Who would have thought? And it's going to continue to go on. I'm so stoked about it because with my kids personally, I've been taking them to Star Wars movies since they're little. I used to take them out of school, to go see the special editions, and then the prequels came out. So my ex-wife at the time, she's like, "What are you doing? What's wrong with you?" But it was great to do that because it's like I said, it's gonna go on forever. Sure, we have movies that we all remember, like The Godfather, and what else we got? Rocky series, Indiana Jones. Yeah. But Star Wars, it's forever, dude. It's gonna be here forever. When we're all gone, it's gonna continue to go. But we still got a long ways to go. So don't get me wrong.
So growing up, besides Star Wars, was there anything else that you were into?
Other than Star Wars?
Yeah.
As an art form or a personal?
Either way.
I'm into healthy living, good physical living, eating well. That's why I like coming down to the beach here. I'm a big fan of I believe in self-healing. I believe that if you really want to, when you feel like you're overwhelmed by life, it doesn't take much but to go for a walk on the beach maybe, or just walk to the park. It's just a natural healing, I come out here whenever every chance I come out to the beach. I get here around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I run from Belmont Park all the way to the pier and back, or maybe as far as Law Street. But when I'm done with my morning runs, I just feel like reborn. I just feel so relaxed, and nothing bothers me anymore. I don't feel overwhelmed. I'm just like in my zen.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take much, even grounding. Have you ever heard of grounding? You take your shoes off and you walk the earth.
Oh, I see.
Barefoot, yeah. It's just something magical about that, because the earth has so much energy that if you walk it barefoot, just for a while, you start feeling better about yourself. Believe it or not, I know that might sound a little weird, but it's really true. Only because I've known people that do that, and I thought they were full of shit at first, but when I started doing it, I go, they're actually onto something.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. There's a huge difference if you go to the beach, you go to the water wearing your shoes versus if you're just barefoot, right? You feel that connection for sure.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, you do feel a connection when you're out there. And not just out here on your own, but when you see others doing the same thing, it's like you both understand each other, what's going on. when I'm running down the beach and I see others doing it, we just look at each other like, all right, on, dude, you're awesome. We're like, we're freaking awesome.
I think that definitely plays into the nature of us humans. We're just really tactile, and we desire that touch from other things and from other people. So
You guys ever do any running yourselves?
I'm more of a walker than a runner.
Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah, my knees are at my age. My knees are going.
How old are you, man?
46.
46.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna take you with me. Bullshit.
Jesus just said Daniel is 65.
I'm at that age where it takes me a second to remember how old I am.
That sucks. Sucks to be you right now. I'm just kidding, man. What about you, Aaron?
Mentally, I am 25.
Yeah, mentally, I feel like I'm 35.
Yeah.
Really, I feel like I'm 35 again.
Oh yeah.
But my body keeps reminding me that I'm not at times.
Yeah, I hear you on the trying to better yourself physically and
Always, man.
It's like I sort of I'm a motivator for this thing called the Comic-Con Fit. Sort of a group of nerds who try to be fit for all the cons throughout the year that you go to. But really, it's all about the con. Being fit for a con is one thing, but we sort of eventually you kind of just see how the benefits are not only for the cons but for the rest of your life. So like since 2014 or so, I've dropped like 45 pounds. So just being consistent with my eating and my working out and walking. So and shout out to the Comic-Con Fit community because they help keep me motivated to keep it up.
Well, yeah, because even with Comic-Con, it's a very busy time for me, especially for this month of July.
Yeah.
So that's why I prepare for it. And that's why I try to stay in shape and exercise as much as possible, because I spend so much time sitting down.
Yeah.
Especially doing the pointillism, from sketch to finish. The process can take a whole month at times. And so I spend a lot of time sitting down because the pointillism, you see me doing the live art, you'll see what I'm talking about, because it's just one dot at a time. So before I actually started working out, I was having shoulder problems, I was having wrist problems. I felt like I had carpal tunnel, and I was having back spasms a lot because I would just sit down. And this was like maybe about 3 years ago. I got this really bad anxiety attack because I was not eating right. I was drinking a lot of coffee, and it happened at work, and I felt I was getting a freaking heart attack, But luckily for me, it was just an anxiety attack. And so what the doctor told me, hey, you need to start exercising more, eat better, stop with all the coffee.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and that was really scary because it knocked me on my ass. I felt like it was scary, man. Yeah. It's a scary thing to go through. So that's what turned my life around. That's what turned I shouldn't say my life, but that's what got me started into the physical fitness and eating well, and then knowing people that do that. I actually went vegetarian for about a year. I went vegetarian, and just to shed the weight because I was believe it or not, I was like at 210 pounds at one time, But when I went vegetarian for about a year and a half, it was really, this guy, he just keeps laughing at me. But it really helped shed the pounds and start exercising more, And that was my journey to where I'm at now, to doing the workouts, the physical fitness.
And
ever since I started doing that, Aaron, no more back pains.
That's good. Awesome.
No more of that. I feel so much better now, That's why I have a pull-up bar at home, because when I'm sitting down for way too long, I get up and I just start doing pull-ups, just some push-ups or whatever, and I do my P90X at home as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, my dad grew up a farmer, and my mom grew up in a farming family, so I grew up with vegetables, and I could be vegetarian for 3 or 4 days out of the week.
Well, believe it or not, I didn't give it a chance because come on, vegetarian was like, come on, I had to wear a beret, wear beads and stuff, to go to a vegetarian restaurant, But you'd be surprised how great the food is.
Oh yeah,
this is amazing restaurants here in San Diego for vegetarian.
I mean, you look at Indian food from India. I mean, they're pretty much all vegetarian, right?
Yes.
So there's so much flavor that comes out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was a friend of mine, I'm gonna give her a shout out. Her name's Karen. she's the one that turned me on to all these vegetarian places. You know, she introduced me to vegetarian restaurants. You know, a healthier lifestyle. If it wasn't for her, I don't know how better off I would have been. But because of her, I so much better now. You know, and I still see her occasionally. We get together for coffee, and we, you know, just or when I need tips on certain items or foods or what I need to get, I give her a call. Yeah, and she'll direct me in the right. She'll kind of point me in the right direction on what to purchase. Even like laundry detergent.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Even laundry. There's organic laundry detergent. There's I don't do dairy milk anymore. I do the coconut milk. I don't know, because dairy milk for you is cheeses, all that. Oh, that's the worst thing, man.
I love cheese.
Oh yeah, excuse me.
But yeah, like it's, I mean, milk and dairy products are sort of inflammatory for your body.
Yeah.
But you know, good cheese every once in a while. It's
Well, cheese is not going to kill you if you eat it occasionally. I still like a good cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You know, because Monday through Friday it's all healthy eating for me, and then the weekends, you can go get a breakfast burrito, get some pizza, a burger. But what sucks for me, because I have my braces on still. I got 10 more months to go. I don't have the luxury of biting into a freaking cheeseburger or a burrito or a pizza. I got a fork and knife for the whole thing. And you should see the people when I ask them for a fork and knife at McDonald's or we go get they look at me like I'm a moron or something. Like, what the hell's wrong with this cabron and shit, you know? Or pizza or burritos. Like, when I go to Taco Shop, I order burrito, you know, I ask them for a fork and knife. They look at me like, ¿Qué traes este cabrón? Wait, you know, they see me cutting a freaking burrito. You know, like, what's wrong with this guy?
You must be a hit at family parties.
What's that?
You must be a hit at family parties.
But if you ever go to that taco shop and you order tacos, tell them not to fold it.
Oh
yeah, they get like, oh, cabrón, we gotta fold it. You know, it's your union rules, son of a bitch. You know, but order a quesadilla with no cheese. They'll look at you like you're out of your mind.
Let's talk about your art for a little bit.
Sure.
Like I said earlier, it's pretty much pointillism, but you sort of have a distinction, and you sort of say pixelism. What is that?
Well, you know, like I said, I started off my art path with drawings. You know, like after what I did for my dad, I just came across this technique of pointillism, but when I draw, it's like tiny little circles with a blending stump and some charcoal. And what you do, I just blend it into tiny little circles, and that's what gives it that effect of realism. I've always been a fan of realism. So everything from my drawings to my cartoons to my painting is all detailed work. So when I do my drawings, it's all like just very meticulous and very, I said, like, you almost got to discipline yourself when it comes to the time it takes to create it. Patience is the key. Patience is everything. If you don't have the patience to do realism, you're better off just doing like animation or something like that, because it's faster. But yeah, when I draw, it's all like tiny little circles with the blending stumps, and those take about a week to create, depending on the size. But I love the drawing part of it, because if you look at old photos or old black and white movies, they're like drawings that are moving. They're like live
moving pictures.
Moving pictures, exactly. Yeah. Yes. So that's why I love the drawing part, the drawing aspect of it. So it's just, everything starts off with a sketch, and when I do draw, it's always the eyes, nose, and mouth of a person that I'm capturing, because if it doesn't look like that character right then and there, it's not going to look like that at all. You know, I see other artists, they'll do the whole thing, but the face doesn't look right, and it just takes away from everything. Because when you draw someone, or a character, or anybody, the face has to be dead on, because that's what people are going to look at first. You know, that's what all the intention's at. And once you capture that person, everything else just falls into place. And it's just all basic shading, really. You know, but shading is also the key to a good drawing, painting, cartoon, you name it. So that's why I take a lot of time to create something really special, or the detail that I put into it, because of that. Yeah, man, it's just that and some good music.
What kind of music do you usually listen to?
Oh my God, I have a huge list of my playlist on my YouTube channel is huge. Everything from soft Spanish jazz to Thievery Corporation
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. To the classic Elvis. Or like right now, I'm working on my Wonder Woman 2. It's a Gal Gadot Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And it is coming out freaking badass. So when I'm creating that one, like right now I'm creating this one, the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, I put on the theme from Wonder Woman.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And I put the soundtrack on, or I'll put the movie on, and I just listen to it. And then that's what gets me inspired, keeps me going, you know? And I can listen to it all freaking day, and that's exactly what I do. Like, before this interview and after this interview, I was just home working. So after this interview, I'm going to go home, and I'm going to spend the rest of my day, or till tonight, just completing it. I want to have it done before Monday to get prints made before Comic-Con.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of the next Star Wars, next Wonder Woman movie taking place in the 80s?
Yeah. We're just doing an interview, having drinks. Interview, podcast?
Podcast.
Yeah.
The cameras are recording.
Okay, it's off.
We get permission
Okay.
from all that, right?
Okay.
All good?
Thank you.
Yeah. You mind just taking this down?
All right. Yeah, what do you think about the next Wonder Woman movie taking place in the 80s?
Wonder Woman was well thought out. Everything from the outfits, everything from the plot, the storyline was perfect. But that's because it was a woman director, so yeah. You leave it up to a guy, they'll screw it all up and shit, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, representation matters, right?
What's that?
Representation matters, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. I agree. And to look forward to the next Wonder Woman, I look forward to it.
I think you look forward to any woman, right?
Well, you know, the thing is, she didn't have her own movie for so long.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, which is kind of understandable because, you know, most superheroes are men, and you don't get too many of the female superheroes. I mean, you have Batgirl, you have some of the villains.
Yeah.
But they never really gotten their own movie, you know. But with this Wonder Woman having her own movie, I think it's gonna pave the way for other female characters to have their own.
Yeah, I think the Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, that'd be a great one.
The Birds of Prey, I think they're gonna start.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very fun to see how that plays out.
For sure. Now, going back to your art,
Sure.
I mean, besides paintings, you also do pencils, and I think the last time we talked to you at Intergalacticon, you said that you sort of approach your paintings the same way you approach your pencils, correct?
Well, yeah. Like I said, I did the pencil art for about maybe 6 years, and then once I got really good at doing the pencil art, then I wanted to challenge myself again. So I got into cartooning, and I did the cartooning for a couple of years because it was something different. You know, you should always challenge yourself to do something different. Because it adds more value to your work. You know, if you can do more than just one medium, that's great. But if you're into one medium, that's fine too. But I like challenging myself every time. So I did the cartoons for a couple of years, got really good at it. And then in 2010, I decided I wanted to paint. And I've always wanted to paint, but I just was never really good at it, really. And so I just bought my first couple canvases, some brushes, and went at it, some acrylic paints, and went at it. And the first 3 paintings I did were horrible. Terrible. Yeah, I was so frustrated. I was throwing canvases out the window. Literally throw them out. Well, not the window, but we had a nice door out the door. But then I would go back and pick them up and, regesso them again. But yeah, it was really hard. But I literally just kind of like, I'm going to paint the way I draw. Very detailed. So and that's where pixelating came out. And I saw this painting at my brother-in-law's house. It was of George Seurat on a Sunday afternoon. And I was just amazed by the detail work because I'm into detail. And when I saw that it wasn't brushstrokes at all, it was all pointillism, I was like, wow. So this was really mind-blowing for me. So I go, I can do that. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So it took an artist from the old masters to inspire me. So George Seurat, when I looked at George Seurat, he created pointillism. And he lived to be to his 30s, and he only created like 11 paintings. But one of his most famous paintings was on a Sunday afternoon. And I was so inspired by that. That's how I did it. I go, I'm going to do that. Because I could understand the patience and the detail and the discipline he must have went through to create something so spectacular. So that's what I started doing. And it took about a year to get the pointillism down. If you looked at some of my early paintings, it doesn't look nothing like what it does now. But the brushes got smaller, the time took longer. Mm-hmm. But the way I tell people, tiny brush, lots of patience, big results. And that's how I work. Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And a good drink once in a while.
Cheers.
Cheers. A good drink.
I think we need a refill.
Are we capturing the glass tipping? Except for Jesus, he doesn't have anything.
He finished his michelada.
Yeah, that's kind of like a non-manly drink and stuff, you know? We're having manly drinks except for Jesus over there. He's having wine.
You know, to be honest, like when I look at your artwork and based on what you've told us so far throughout the years about your story, it's really inspirational for us. So I thought it was,
Yeah, well, thank you, man. Yeah, thank you for the time for coming out and supporting me. And I know we talked about doing the podcast so many times, but never got the chance to do it. And thanks for your patience, and for continuing to ask me to do this. And I know it's kind of like we've been at it for like a couple years now to try to do
the podcast. Yeah, we launched a podcast like October of 2016. So we'd see you at different events, like I said earlier, at art shows at Basic or at different conventions. So yeah, I'm just really stoked that we finally have a chance to do the podcast with you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that we're doing this finally, man. And I think these are fun to do, man. I should do more of these. I've got offered several times by other places, or there's another place, another guys that asked me to do the same thing, but I'm just like not really into it.
So did we pop your podcast cherry?
Yes, you did.
All right.
Yes. Yes, you did.
Now for people out there who want to sort of make art, their way of life and to make a living out of it, what kind of advice do you have for them?
My advice to those artists out there that want to get out there is to do it your way. Do it your way because nobody else is going to do that way. That's why we're all artists, because we all do things differently. If we all did pointillism, it'd be another one. But if you can do your art in your own fashion, then go for it. Don't ever compare your work to somebody else's, because you'll never be satisfied. And if you're never satisfied, you'll always be frustrated. And if you're going to be frustrated, might as well just give it up, because you're never going to be happy doing it. Some of my influences for me early on, a friend of mine, they're both San Diego natives here, locals, Stephen Fishwick. Awesome artist. That guy is simply amazing. I love his work, but his work is so different from mine. That's what I love about what he does. Stephen Fishwick, amazing artist. Definitely check him out. And then there's Tim Cantor, another artist. He has a gallery downtown. If you get a chance to see Tim Cantor's work, you would be totally amazed at the detail that he puts into his work. Amazing artist. And then you have Alex Ross.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Alex Ross, he's amazing freaking guy. His work is just amazing. So these guys inspire me to do what I do. And you should always have someone like that. But you never want to copy their work either. When you start copying other people's techniques, I'm sure they might want to teach you some of their techniques, but you want to have your own. Growing up, like for art school, my art teachers and we always had a love-hate relationship, because they would always try to teach me technique, and I just told them, bullshit, I'm going to do it my way, and that's just the way it's always been. I've always been doing things my way. You don't see too many people doing pointillism art anymore, because it's very time-consuming, but you see the results of my work.
For sure.
But yeah, definitely do things your own way. Don't just I tell people, find your itch and scratch the hell out of it.
I think when it comes to pointillism and the kind of artwork that you do, it definitely takes like a certain level of focus and drive. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
How do you find that within yourself?
I have to literally lock myself up. I go into solitude every time I work. Because this interview, it got me out of the house, right? So I've been in solitude for the last 2 days. Just, I get out in the morning to go get coffee, to hang out for a couple hours to get me out of the house for a while. But once I get home, that's it. I lock myself up, and that's it. I don't go anywhere. I just stay home and I just work. That's my zen. I have to have that, because without it, I feel like I'm cheating myself from it. And I try to paint only at night, because I love the peace of the night when I'm working. Because everybody's asleep, I'm the only idiot up all night painting.
Right.
Tim Cantor is the same way. If you look at his bio, he's the same way. Stephen Fishwick, he has his zen. But that guy, he can paint in front of a big audience. And I can do the same thing, but I need my private time to really create, to really focus. And sometimes I like I said, I'll go into solitude for a couple days. You won't hear from me, you won't see me. But once I come out, you see some of the work I produce because of it. And I need that. Everybody's different. Does that sound weird, or is that
No. It's the truth. Everybody is different.
Truth,
We all have our different experiences and stuff that we go through in life.
Yeah.
If you would, if you could be a little bit vulnerable with us, maybe for a second or two, a little bit vulnerable.
Vulnerable?
Yeah. I mean, I know that you've had some struggles in the past. I think maybe some of our listeners and people who would want to take art as their passion and take it to the next level, I think they can glean a lot from maybe some of the struggles that you had.
Well, like I said, being vulnerable, I was very vulnerable when I got into my art, because at the time when my dad passed away, it was like I said, it was the hardest thing to do. But at the same time, my own personal life was hitting rock bottom. I hit rock bottom after my dad died. And art, if it wasn't for my art, I would have been a totally mental, drunken mess. I don't know where I would have been. But because of my art, it became my salvation. And that's why I love doing what I do, because even when I'm having a bad day, it brings me up, or if I'm feeling depressed or I'm feeling, lonely, I'll pick up a pad, or I just get back to working, or I create something new, and it gets me out of it just like that. But yeah, I mean, we're all vulnerable at one point, but
I think
to get started as an artist wasn't the easiest thing. It wasn't because I wanted to, I had to. Because without it, it was really tough for me to get back in 2006. But it also helped me get out of my mentality that I had back then, because I felt like nothing right was going for me at the time, and I just felt like life was over. Because the life I once lived was gone. So that's why my art is more meaningful for me now, because it saved me from some of the terrible ordeals I had to deal with. But now it's so much fun. Oh my God! Look at no. Are they free? But yeah, we all have a reason why we do this, and that's my reason why I do the art.
Awesome. Yeah, I think to sort of reach your full potential, you sort of have to be vulnerable with yourself and be honest. And
if you talk to a lot of artists, a lot of them, it changed their lives one way or another. A lot of them done it because of their lives went the opposite direction, or they hit rock bottom, or it became their salvation. We all have stories to tell, man. We all have stories to tell, and that's mine. That's my story. If you go to my website, you can read more about it.
Yeah.
At dansartworksd.com. That's dansartworksd.com.
Nice segue. Now, going to one of the quotes that you have on your website, you say, "So what inspires me the most? Knowing it's never too late to do what you love." Do you sort of want to expand on that?
Yeah, we all live our lives doing we all get caught up, in the corporate world or your 9 to 5. And when I do the live art, I meet people from all walks of life. you know. And I ask each and every one of them what is it they do, or do they have any hobbies? And a majority of them say, I would love to do this, or I would love to get back to doing that. But they never do, because they get so caught up in their corporate jobs or life itself. But when you can do something that makes you happy, or do something that you know you're good at and you want to do it and you just do it, there's no timeline for that. It can be now, it can be 10 years from now, it can be, who knows when.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never too late to do what you love, man. Like I said, I should have been doing this 30 years ago, but I lived a totally different lifestyle back then. I think I would have been really upset if I never did it. I'm just happy it's happening now. But I'm still young. And I'll always be young at heart when it comes to doing this. But yeah, doing what you love, there's no time limit for it, man. Just make the time if you can. Because there's people out there that with hidden talents or hidden creativity or something in them. Because we're all talented in one way or another. We all have something creative in us. But a lot of them choose not to use it or not to express it. Mm-hmm. Because they live because of their lifestyle or whatever, But when you do find the time, do it, You'd be surprised how many people regret not doing what they love.
Yeah, I think regret's like one of the worst things you can go through,
Yeah. Right, Jesus? Yeah, he's doing what he loves.
Yeah.
He worked at a job that he wasn't happy with, but he's doing what he does love. And he's doing what he loves now. And I see the big difference. Just like you guys are here doing the Hall H podcast. Did you guys ever think you would be doing podcasts when you were little kids?
No.
See? Yeah. As a little kid, I knew I was going to be an artist, but not like this.
I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't think we would be doing podcasts at all, but it's just something that...
But as a kid, we didn't know what podcast. That wasn't in the world.
Well, I mean, even going back to 2014 when we started the blog, but when I would go for walks, I would listen to all these other podcasts like Joe Rogan's podcast or, Chase Jarvis, and I would say, maybe we could do a podcast too. And then we would just I just one day said, Alex, you know what? I think we're gonna try and do a podcast. And so we've learned along the way, but we've gotten better, and you just never know until you try. And, until if you can find something that you're passionate about, but you have to at least give it a go.
Absolutely, yes, I agree. I mean, even like people I know that are doctors or lawyers, some of them want to play a trumpet, one of them want to play guitar. Like for me personally, now that I've gotten to the point where my painting is like I know I'm really good at doing that. Next year I might want to do sculpting. I have my dad's guitar. I would love to pick that up and play it someday. Learn how to play guitar, but I'm still not emotionally ready to do it. So it just sits there. But I know I'll eventually pick it up one day and just start playing it. But yeah, stay tuned. I might start sculpting soon. I don't know yet.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Cool. The next time we have you on, you'll be sculpting.
Exactly.
Well, now, going back to your family and your childhood, were you the only one that sort of was artistically inclined besides your father? Or?
Well, besides my parents having a bunch of kids, my dad would just look at my mom and she'd get pregnant. She'd have a kid. Yeah.
You guys didn't have a TV when you were a kid, when you were younger.
We had a TV, but it only had 3 channels.
Okay.
And with 10 kids, my dad, instead of fighting over the channel, my dad would just throw the TV out the window. Cabrón, let's go play outside. Hijo su madre. So my dad, my mom and dad couldn't even wash their underwear together because a kid would come out and wash her. That's how bad it was. But, so growing up was very, when it was never a dull moment. We had paper everywhere. We had pencils. We had a lot of stuff around the house. But as for the artistic part of it, my mom was more the creative type. She was very creative. Yeah, crafty.
Okay.
Yeah, she can get like an empty spool from toilet paper or paper towel. Mm-hmm. She'll make it like a cell phone out of it or something. She'll make something out of it. She can knit. She can create. She does all these really crafty ideas. Even to this day, she's gonna be 90 in March, and she's still as sharp as a machete. My mom, and she still does the craft. She's still very creative. So I give my creative part from my mom, and I give my sense of humor from my dad. But as for my siblings, my oldest brother, he was very artistic as well, but he never took it seriously. He just painted a little bit and sketched his kids, but nothing like that. And then I have an older sister, Teresa. She's the one that is actually she's taking it more seriously now. She's actually writing the kids book right now.
Oh, cool.
And she's I'm not gonna give it away, but she's doing a kids book, and she's doing all the illustration. We're actually gonna be talking more about it when she comes down. I'm gonna help her out with the illustration part of it. But it's gonna be an amazing book. Yeah. So, and she's a lot older than I am, and she's doing something that she should have been doing a long time ago. But like I said, never too late to do what you love, and she's doing it finally. You know.
Good for her.
Yeah. So yeah, it kind of runs in the family. But I have to thank my mom for it. You know. But at the same time, I wish I would have gotten the support when I was growing up. But hey, but you find your niche as you go. You know. So having all these siblings was a kind of a blessing. But at the same time, I got my ass handed to me all the time by my brothers.
Yeah.
Because, you know, boys will be boys, you know. And having 5 sisters, I was always nurtured. You know, they always nursed me back. You know, they took good care of me. My sisters love me, and I love them very much. I'll protect them to the very day. And we still get together occasionally to take my mom to brunch. So we see my mother maybe twice a month for brunch. So we take her out, have breakfast. Or we just get together for no reason, you know? So, matter of fact, I hung out with my mother, when was it? Just the other day, because she wasn't feeling too well. So I go pay her a visit and just spend some time with her. You know what she tells me, Aaron? She tells me, "Mijo, when you get old, I'm gonna take care of you." She's gonna live to be at least 200, 300 years old. I kid you not, man.
That's so sweet of her to say.
Yeah. She's just here, man. She walks all over the freaking place. If she had rollerblades, she'd be getting speeding tickets. No helmet required for my mom, you know? She just like bounce back up and stuff, you know? But yeah, so we have great genes in our family. And I sure hope I take after her, you know? Because I would never want to be that 80-year-old guy, you know, just like in a fetal position. You know, I would not want that.
Yeah.
You know, if it got to that point, I would you know what I would do, man? I would go sky or go like a helicopter ride and then just jump out, you know, and end it that way with a splash over the water.
Without a parachute.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like in your life with a splash, that'd be me. I'd be on the news and everything, man. I would have a Superman cape on.
That's almost like Hunter S. Thompson style.
That's what I would do, man.
Going out with your own rules. You know?
I would never want to like just shrivel up and die in a hospital. I'd rather go out and do it that way, you know? Yeah. Seriously. Or the day I am gone, man, I want my ashes put into paint and have all my friends paint a mural with me in it. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
That's cool.
You guys are invited. Jesus here, he can like bless my ashes and stuff, you know?
I guess we'll go to the Thunder Round, which is our off the beaten path set of questions. So I'll turn it over to Alex.
All right. First question for the Thunder Round.
More questions. Oh my god.
All right. Since you're a huge Star Wars fan, what Jedi or Sith would you want to be a Padawan or apprentice to?
Who would I want?
Yeah.
Well, I just see this cute blonde walking by right now. Okay. Who would I want as a Padawan?
No. Who would you want to be a Padawan to?
Padawan 2. Oh yeah, definitely Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, yes. He's very, yes, Obi-Wan.
Cool. All right.
He would have to be a Mexican Jedi. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, yes. Obi-Wan cabrón and shit, you know?
Han Cholo?
Well, I know a Han Cholo already and shit, yeah. A friend of mine, he's Han Cholo, man.
Is the guy from L.A.?
Yeah, the guy from L.A. Yeah,
I met the family with the kid.
Yeah, you can't miss him, man. Han Cholo.
Yeah, they're cool family.
Yeah.
I met them.
Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi, man. He'd be my guy. Wisdom.
All right, next question. If a movie was made about your life, who would you want to play it?
Probably Ben Stiller. I've been told I kind of resemble him and shit. Right? I've been told that so many times.
I see it now.
Yeah.
Now you mention it.
Yeah. He'd be perfect. We would have to cool him up tomorrow because he's kind of not as cool as me and shit, but we'd have to make him more cool and shit, you know? Cool him up, I guess.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Okay, and with the movie, what kind of music would be on your soundtrack?
On mine?
Yeah.
Definitely Theory Corporation. Thievery Corporation they would be my soundtrack. If you not listen to their music,
I used to listen to them a lot before.
They have some of the coolest music you ever heard of. They bring in a Zetar on their soundtrack. Amazing. It's called the Forgotten People. Listen to that soundtrack. The guy in the Zetar, freaking amazing. They would be on my soundtrack.
Cool, nice.
Yes.
All right. If you could have a meal, someone else scored on the World Cup. Next question: if you could have a meal with anyone dead or alive, real or fiction, who would it be, and where would you eat?
This may sound really like freaking out of left field, but I would love to have lunch with Adolf Hitler. Reason why? Just to find out what the hell was wrong with that guy. To pick his brain, like, dude, do you know what the hell what you're doing? Snap out of it, you know? Just bitch slap him. You know, like, snap out of it, man. You don't need to do all this. Is that weird or what? It is weird. I know it sounds weird, and I know you didn't expect to hear that from me, but that's only. I would just want to pick his brain to find out what the hell was wrong with him, because he wasn't born like that. Something had to happen to him to make him hate people that much. Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, where you guys eat at?
Right here. We had dropped.
He changed his mind, huh?
Yeah. All right. Okay. If I gave you $1 million, what would you do with it?
If I had $1 million,
Yeah.
what would I do with it? I would definitely invest it.
Invest it.
Definitely invest it, and help others that are less fortunate than I am. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's what I would do, man.
How about $100 if I give you $100 right now?
Oh, I pay the tab.
Next round. All right. If you have a one-way trip to go back in time and change an event, what event would you change?
Where this is going.
For the Hitler?
A major event, huh? Wow. Definitely Woodstock.
Oh, interesting.
That'd be cool.
I would love to go back to Woodstock and do some live art there. To actually paint Jimi Hendrix
Oh, that'd be
while
dope.
he's playing.
Yeah.
To paint Carlos Santana
yeah.
while he's playing and high on drugs and shit, you know? That would be that's what I would love to do. Live paint on stage with these the Doors, all those guys. Yeah, what else you got?
Yeah, we got the Artist Alley segment of the podcast where we sort of give props to an artist. And when we say artist, it could be loosely used like illustrator, writer, anybody creative.
As an artist.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is
We're all
there
artists.
anybody out there that you sort of want to give props to? I know you mentioned a few earlier.
Yeah. Well, there's Linda Nguyen.
Oh yeah, Kimchi cosplay.
Yeah, Kimchi cosplay.
Yeah.
Linda, she's awesome. If you have not seen some of the cosplays that she creates, freaking amazing. You know, I was so honored to have her with the gallery, to work with her when we had this Kimchi cosplay gallery.
Oh, is that the Horton Plaza?
Yeah. When she had her gallery, I was really honored that she brought me in to do the art, and she did the cosplay, and it was a great run. But I just saw what she does when it comes to creating her costumes. So yeah, definitely check out Kimchi cosplay. She's awesome.
I've been following her on Instagram recently, and I'm looking forward to what she unveils for San Diego Comic-Con this year.
Yeah, and there's another little friend of mine. His name is Ethan Castile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do you know?
Ethan.
Yeah.
Bay Area, San Jose.
Yeah. When I met Ethan, this was maybe about 2 years ago.
Okay.
You know, I saw his table from iView, from Ions, and I just had to go there and talk to the kid.
Yeah.
12-year-old kid,
Yep.
Comic-Con.
And we met him when he was 11.
Really?
Yeah.
See, and when I met him that first year I met him, I was sending people his way. When people would come over there with the kids, especially like kids, school teachers, educators, I would send them all to Ethan's table. Like, you got to see my friend Ethan.
Yeah.
So Ethan Castillo, definitely go check him out.
Definitely, yeah.
Amazing kid.
His art's getting better all the time, man.
Yeah. He does. He's doing what I should have been doing as a kid. You know, I wish my parents would take me to Comic-Con. You know, what the hell, you know.
Yeah, that's one thing I have to say. His family's really supportive of what he's doing.
So they're supportive. I'm supportive of Ethan. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Alex, is there anybody that you want to?
See. probably a guy I just met at Amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. He's originally from Philadelphia, and now he lives in Seattle. It's Marcos Medina. He's a cool illustrator. A lot of, comic, there's a lot of illustrations, headshots, things like that. So
Yeah.
Marcus Medina is pretty cool.
Cool.
Check him out. We'll put his post on the site.
Nice. Since San Diego Comic-Con is coming up, I'll give a
Yeah, we only got 2 weeks.
I know, man.
2 weeks away, man. Can you believe it?
For this Artist Alley, I'll give a shout out to Geeky Hooker. She knits these really cool little like crocheted little critters, and she does these little drops that people try and go find at San Diego Comic-Con. So it's pretty cool that what she comes up with. So
Awesome.
go check her out, Geeky Hooker. And for
Artist Alley is such an amazing place to go to.
yeah, for sure.
Because not only because it's Artist Alley, but they're all independent artists, and they all have something different to show everyone. And what's funny is that because of Artist Alley, I'm like the only idiot there light painting. Because if you ever go down, you'll see like I'm the only guy there with a real canvas painting through my pointillism.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what draws people's attention. You want to do another round?
I'm okay right now.
Okay.
I'll do a round with you.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody's out. These two guys, they're already giving up on us, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Artist Alley is sort of like what we sort of want to cover when we go to most cons.
Yes.
We're sort of hallh.com, so it's kind of ironic that we don't go to Hall H, but we sort of put the focus on the Artist Alley and independent creators.
You guys should have a booth there. You know what?
Well, it's funny you mention that because this year, Bobby Rubio, he's a Pixar story artist and one of our friends. Him and Keithan Jones, he's a publisher at Kid Comics, and he has a comic book called The Power Knights. We're all going to be at Bobby's booth, booth 1943, and me and Alex are going to be working Bobby's booth in the morning, and then doing podcast interviews in the afternoon. So we'll be having a booth.
Well, if you guys get a booth, let me know, man. We'll share a booth together. Seriously, man. I would. One thing about Comic Con, to get into Artist Alley, I feel very blessed that I get into it every year, and I'm so fortunate that I guess that I can at least get in every year. Because there's other artists that have been there for years and years and years, but to come in as a new artist to have a table is really tough, man. I waited a couple years just to get in. But to get a booth at Comic Con, now we're talking, some more time to wait because it's almost impossible to get a booth.
I think so.
So if anybody out there that needs a booth partner, let me know. I'll go halves on you.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. Maybe we should get a bunch of the San Diego local artists and see what we can do in terms of like sharing booths.
Yeah. But the thing about Artist Alley, you get to meet people from all over the world.
Yeah. That's one reason why we love going to Artist Alley.
Yes. My first year when I did Comic Con was just amazing.
What was your first year again at Comic Con?
This 2014.
Okay, yeah, that's when we met you.
Yeah. 2014, and I had no clue what to expect, and because I'm not a big fan of being enclosed, because when I'm enclosed, I feel the pressure on my head. I gotta be out. Does that sound weird?
No. I'm a big claustrophobic myself.
Yeah, but once I had to just get used to it. But 5 days of it can be very overwhelming,
Yeah.
But the second year was much better, and it's just gotten better every year now. Now it's just like it's more fun.
Are you usually around the same set of people?
No. They every year I'm given a spot, like a vacancy.
Okay.
So I'm still like considered new. So I don't have like a spot. I'm every. I would love to have like the same table every year, but it's whatever that they can get me. They get me in. So yeah. So I'm not complaining. I'm glad I'm able to get in. But like I said, I would love to have a booth someday, or maybe take over Ross's area. I know Marvel didn't get in this year. I would love to have their spot. But I would have to fork up like a couple grand or something
just for one day.
Just for one day. Yeah, they're not cheap, man. Those booths are.
I hear you.
But they're worth it. If you can really sell your work, then it's definitely worth it. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Now, the next segment of our podcast is superhero shout-outs. Is there anybody or any group, any people that you want to sort of say thanks to? Because, we can't do things by ourselves, right?
Absolutely, you can't never do anything by yourself. You always need a little help or a little guidance.
Yeah.
But when it comes to superhero, I guess like I give a shout out or a thank you to all of them. You know, because they're all inspiring. You know, even when I'm there, and when I get a chance to break away from my table and I walk around, they all inspire me because we've all had a path to where we're at now. You know, and it's like a giant family get together. It's like a family reunion at Comic-Con. You know, because I get to see everybody from far and near. You know, and it's great. But yeah, a shout out to everybody, man. There's no particular group or a name. Everybody, man. Everybody's inspiring to me.
Cool. Is there anybody that you want to throw a shout out to for this episode, Alex?
Let's see. Our friend Oliver. He's a Navy vet, retired already. Just good, always giving advice about things.
Yeah.
You know, always motivating. It's always pushing us to do better.
Well, we all need somebody like that, man. You know, like when I meet artists, when I'm doing my live art and I meet like when I'm doing like Art Basic or I'm working with Johnny and Paul at Thumbprint Gallery. You know, when I do a live art, when I meet other artists that need a push into the right direction, I'm there for them. You know.
Yeah.
Because when I first started doing the art shows, nobody really helped me out. I was just kind of like trying to figure it out. But when I have others that come, then yes, I'm always willing to help those who want it, you know, or push them in the right direction, give them techniques, tips. To teach, I don't really would want to teach anybody because I believe everybody has their own way of doing things. I just tell them, hey, just find your own way of creating your art. But if they want to hang their art or they want to do a show or get started, I can at least provide that for them. So if anybody needs help hanging their work or getting their work out there, let me know. I'm always willing to give that helping hand because, you know, I'm just paying it forward, man. We should all help each other out, one way or another.
Cool. And I'd like to throw a shout out to my boss and my good friend, Chase, Chris Chase. He's the owner and creative director at Chase Design, which is the branding agency that I work at. We were just shooting the shit in his office the other day, and then he tells me that my anniversary date just passed, and it's been like 6 years since I started there, and so like we drank a few beers yesterday, and I'm just honored to work at a place where I'm so excited to go to every morning, and take it from me. I've worked in all types of companies, be it small or I've done the corporate gig for like 10 years, working at Chase Design as you know.
How long were you there? How long have you been there?
At Chase Design? About 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
I've been with the city of San Diego for 23 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's what I do. That's my mild-mannered job during the day.
Now, I think the last time we talked at Intergalacticon, I had asked you if you were going to sort of make that transition to become a full-time artist, and you want to sort of recount what you said?
I'm going to have would you want a michelada?
No, I don't want any more.
No, for me.
No, you don't want that now.
Why not?
It's time for lunch.
No, I'm going to have a michelada. So can I have it with the I don't want it with the Coors Light because that's not manly beer.
Do you want to do Pacifico instead?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
And then would you like Bloody Mary mix or without?
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else?
I'll take another blueberry.
What are you having?
New English?
The
English.
blueberry blonde?
Yep.
In water.
Sure. You guys want some waters?
Yes, please.
I'm good.
Jesus, you want some water?
Okay.
Jesus? No?
Okay, I'll right back, guys.
Here you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Got it.
Cool. Yeah. Last time we talked, you had mentioned that you were going to sort of segue into doing art full time. Is that still a plan?
I would love to do the art full time,
Yeah.
man. If I can retire right now with the city, I would. When I tell people that, they're like, "You work for the city during the day?" I go, yes, I do. And what I do for the city, I'm a heavy equipment operator for the city of San Diego. So during the day, from Monday to Friday, I'm working with big heavy equipment. You know, big manly, rugged kind of a guy. You know, heavy metal all day, big, manly man's, equipment.
Putting grass in parks?
Yeah, pretty much all day, every day. So I get up really early in the morning. I get up around 4:30 to go to work, and I do that, like I said, Monday through Friday. And then after work, I come home from heavy metal, I come home and it's like smooth jazz. You know?
Nice.
Yeah, I come home, light some candles, a little jazz, a little vino, and get into my zen. You know. So yeah, it's totally different from what I do on my private time. And at work, I didn't tell a lot of people at work what I did. You know, for a long time.
How did they take it when they find out?
It's like, really, you're an artist? Like, yeah. But see, the thing is about when you tell people you're an artist, they expect, they start hitting you up for free stuff. Hey, can you do a quick drawing for me? Like, all right, it'll be like $300 bucks. Then they don't want nothing from me. You know, really, I kid you not. Everybody thinks I can just like whip it out in about a minute. You know, I go, I can't just shit out a freaking drawing. You know, I got to put some effort into it. You know, what the hell? I'm sorry, it's just the drink. It's coming out of me. It's making me talk a lot of crap and shit. See, I just said the word shit.
So at cons, I mean, do people like hit you up asking for free drawings and stuff?
I don't mind. I don't mind if it's for a good cause. I love giving back.
Yeah.
And I'll donate. I'll even donate paintings and drawings for like with the 501st.
Okay.
Yeah. We're doing something for that Friday during Comic-Con. So I do a lot of charity events and I like giving back, but but for no reason, then I don't really do it. Only for a good cause. You know, charity. I love giving back. So you'll definitely find me doing charity events all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But for those of you that go to conventions, I mean, artists. I mean, they work for a living. They work for a living. So don't expect to get free shit from artists at the conventions.
But well, like I said, I have a couple more. We got to circle the sun a couple more years, and then I'll be ready to go to do this full time. And once I do leave my day career and pursue art full time, watch out. I'm gonna be doing Comic Cons year round. That's my goal. You know.
Are there any Comic Cons outside of California or maybe outside the United States you want to try and go to?
Dude, I don't even know where I would start. I would just I would love to do the New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
I consider that like the AFC NFC Championship game.
Oh yeah.
And the San Diego Comic Con is the Super Bowl of all the Comic Cons. And we're so lucky to have you here in our backyard, especially being a San Diego native. But I would love to do like some up in Northern California. You have the Long Beach Comic Con, you have the WonderCon, you have the Ape Con. I know like Seattle, they do their Emerald
City.
What's it called?
Emerald City.
Emerald City.
Yeah. That sounds cool, man. I would just love to travel and do more Comic Cons, man. I would just get rid of everything, buy a freaking RV or whatever, and just travel.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what I would do, man. Hit the road.
Yeah, in an RV, you'd have space for all your supplies.
Yeah, I could find a nice beach somewhere and run in the morning. I would just take a couple weights and my pull-up bar, and I'll be set to go, man.
Cool. I guess we'll start wrapping up. Is there anything that we missed that you'd like our audience to know about?
What's that now?
Is there anything that we missed that you'd like our audience to know about?
Anything you missed? Not really. I mean, we pretty much covered everything. And like I said, for you artists out there that are getting started, just have the patience. Have patience, really. Don't expect it all to come in one day or 1 year, because it's not going to happen. Do every show you can. Do every event. Get out there and meet other artists. Get out there, be a part of it. Participate as much shows as possible.
Yeah,
because it's those people that you come across the way that's either going to make a difference in your life or help you get to your destination.
All right, we got the drinks. Thank you so much.
Great one, you got it. Just let me know if you have anything else.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think also sort of going back to like taking that first step to doing what you want to be passionate about.
Yeah.
It's sort of like how you're into fitness, right?
Yes.
Like if you don't get started and you don't make those incremental changes that you try to do every single day, you won't get better.
Right. I mean, it all starts up with one push-up.
Right.
When I got into it, I was only doing 6. Now I'm doing like 40. And then so every morning I do like 160 push-ups in the morning.
Okay.
And then I'll do another 160 in the evening.
Yeah, and it's basically whatever you want to be passionate about. You need
to. It takes one step at a time. One push-up, one pull-up. That's how art is. Life itself. You take one step at a time, man. And eventually you'll get there.
Cool. And what booth are you going to be at San Diego Comic Con?
I'll be at booth number EE13.
And I know that you don't want to be, too active on social media, but where can people find you online?
Was that now?
I know that you're sort of private on social media, but where can people find you online if they want to connect with you?
Well, they can find me on my website at www.dansartworksd.com, or you can look me up on Instagram, which is Instagram Dan's Artwork SD, or on Facebook under Daniel Jaimes, Jaimes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I mispronounced your name. It's
Yes, I know
Jaimes.
you keep saying Daniel James.
I'm so sorry about
But
that.
that's okay. It's not like we're gonna go out and do like grocery shopping together and shit like that. It's not like we're gonna go picking up curtains and shit like that.
Tell you what, I'll get the next round. How's that? Cheers,
Yeah,
brother.
My whole life, people's been saying James, but it's Jaimes.
Okay, Jaimes.
So cheers, my friends.
Cheers to you. Thank you for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me, and definitely I look forward to being back, and we'll talk some more.
Definitely. Alex, why don't you close out the show?
All right. Thank you for listening to the Hall H Show podcast. We love putting the spotlight on some of our favorite pop culture and comic book creatives like Daniel James, Jaime.
Jaimes.
Jaimes.
Make sure you go out, visit them at San Diego Comic Con 2018 in Artist Alley, EE13. Once again, Artist Alley, EE13. You can find this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, and our website, hallh.com.
Yes.
So if you believe in our mission to be the voice of independent creators, we would appreciate a rating and a comment on iTunes. And please spread the word on social media using the hashtag HallHShow. Once again, hashtag HallHShow. Peace, cheers, and make sure to make it a point to visit Artist Alley at all the conventions you plan on attending this year. All right, see you guys later.
Peace. Cheers.
Cheers.
Late.